Hello, it's what is this? The fourth video. I'm gonna have to start pointing out the fact that I'm carrying on with this 'cause it's becoming routine now. It's daytime. I'm filming it during the day, so I didn't have to faff around with loads of other lighting. Got the natural sunlight. So, this week I thought I would discuss, obviously my update, but also I thought I'd talk about the businesses that I do, like what I do for a living, the businesses, and what I do day to day, and why I think it's excellent to do, and bits and bobs like that. So if you're not interested in it, you can just turn off now or after the updates or whenever you like, but that's what I'm going to talk about. So, updates. I haven't got to my word limit, but not through laziness. I have sat in front of my laptop and tried to think, but I've had a little bit of a block. So I'm going to carry on working with it today and see how far I can get. Fingers crossed. Lipstick wise, I've done pretty well. As you can see today, got it on. But last week I missed a few days, but that's because I was just at home. So I didn't put any on because I was a bit poorly. So generally, every time I've left the house, I've had a bold lipstick on. So I'm going to count that as a win. Yeah, that counts. It's been a good week. I haven't had much to film, so I've tried. I did film a few intros to the week, but nothing really happened. So I didn't bother, so I haven't bothered putting them in. I might try and do a few more on weeks where they're busy ones, or I might do like 2 weekly ones, so like fortnightly I'll do a little video of clips of bits that I've done in those 2 weeks. I don't know. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. If you're not, then I won't bother. Or I might just film the exciting parts, if there's any. So, the businesses. Essentially, I'm going to tell you like why I started them, what I do, and the advantages and disadvantages, I guess, of running your own businesses. So, why I started them. Okay, so in April 2016, I left my job that I had. I've been there for about 3 years, and I've spoken about that in one of my other vlogs. So I'll link that below actually, just in case you want to go and have a look at that. I left that because I was becoming very, very stressed and my role had changed and blah, 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 blah. Wasn't happy. And I thought, okay, what can I do to change that? I can't sit around and mope or forever, so I'm just going to do something about it. So, already in my head, I thought about starting my own business, and I'd always thought, what can I do? And my dad has always wanted my mum to do it, and then me when I decided that I wanted to do something for myself. So we were discussing selling shipping containers, but doing it from home. So we buy them and sell them as a business. That's what we do. So it was kind of working out how I was going to do it, where I was going to do it from, the name, all the basic things that you need to work out. And I thought, right, well, I'm not ready to do it yet, but I'm not happy where I am. So I thought, okay, it was, to start off with, months down the line, if not years. So I got another job, and it was in the field that I got my degree in. So I thought, brilliant, that's exactly what I want to do. And I really, really enjoyed it. I loved working with all the people I worked with. So just in case you're watching it, you know that I love you. And I had so much fun. But during it, we were kind of thinking, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, planning the business. And it became very apparent that actually I could do it sooner than we thought. So I ended up being at the new position for about 2 months, May, June, July, August, 3.5 months. So then in the late August, early September of 2016, I quit and I went out on my own, and we put money into the business. and started thinking of logos, names, all the different accounts that we'd need, all the different things you'd have to think about, the legal aspects of it, registering it, bank accounts, all of that. And it don't get me wrong, it was very overwhelming, but it started to get very, very exciting as well. So I was running that, we made some sales, it was good, we made back the money that we put in, brilliant. That was my main task. Just make back the money that we've put in. That's fine, leave that in the bank account, let that sit there. Anything else is a bonus. So it's been, you know, pottering along, made a few sales. It's still in its very early stages, and I'm well aware of that. We make enough that we can keep it going, and it's still exciting, and I still do get a buzz every time we make a sale. So I won't go into all the figures and everything. It's good. We're doing all right. So then it got to, that was kind of, you know, ticking along nicely. And I was learning more and more about what I needed to learn, working with my dad as well, because he's been in the industry for a long time, so that was excellent. Meeting lots of other people as well, so it was really good, really good. And then from June or July 2016, I started losing weight and on a particular plan, which I got to my goal January 23rd, so that's tomorrow, a year ago. January 23rd, 2017, I got to my goal. I lost 3.5 stone, and I was so passionate about this plan. I still am, honestly. I love it, and I've maintained for a whole year, and I might talk about that in another video. But my consultant saw how much I had learned and how passionate I was about it, and the feeling that I got when I got to goal, amazing. So she said, why don't you be a consultant? I thought, okay, well I work from home already, and it doesn't take up masses of my time, you know, on the phones and things. Like, it, you know, it's a business, it takes up time, but it's one of those things that you can pick up and put down, and to have, you know, a consulting session would only take half an hour here and there. So it's something you can work them both around, and if it didn't work, it didn't work. If it did, brilliant. So I trained and I qualified in August 2017, and since then I've been running a weight loss consultancy as well as the Steelbox company. So I've got both of them, I'm juggling them both. It's so rewarding. They both are in their own different ways. Every time I make a sale, I get a buzz, and every time someone loses weight, I get a buzz. So both of them are amazing. So there are downsides though, don't get me wrong. You have to think about all the legal aspects, like I mentioned earlier. You have to think of all the tax you need to pay and fees and all the things you have to be registered with to make yourself legal. It's stressful, but it's not, because it is fairly simple to work out. But for someone like me, who's just paranoid of doing anything wrong in the slightest, it was a nightmare. But I've got along nicely. Oh, it's got dark. I've got along quite nicely, and at the moment we're all up to date and legal with everything, so that's fine. But it's the big responsibility to run them both. I will tell you that now. It's a big responsibility, but it's also very rewarding. God, try and say that quickly. You also get a lot of misconceptions. So yes, I sit at home most of the time, but actually, you know, I'm running 2 businesses. Don't get me wrong, that's still time consuming. You're still making sure that everything's up to date, you're making sure that you've got, you know, I'm surrounded daily by lists and spreadsheets, and I don't begrudge that for a second. You know, I love it. I know that I'm very, very lucky to be able to do that. I'm in a perfect position. It's excellent. But people just think you're not doing anything. So there is that. You do have to just fight against that. But actually, you know, if people are supportive of you, they'll understand that, you know, they get used to it. You do have to miss out on a fair bit sometimes. So when you start a business, it can be quite expensive. Sometimes it isn't, don't get me wrong. But you do find that either time or money you're short of. So you have to make sure that people are supportive of you. You know, I started the business at a time when I was planning a wedding at the same and paying for a wedding at the same time, so it did get quite stressful, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because now I've got these 2 businesses that I'm happy with. Yeah, I mean, they're the main downsides to it, just the responsibility, the time and the money that it can take, and the misconceptions. Did I say that? No, I don't think. Well, I've said it before. But it is so rewarding, as I've said before. It's so rewarding to know that you've done it yourself or with, you know, family or friends. It's so rewarding to know that you've got these businesses, and what better way to make money for yourself rather than someone else. You know, and it's a learning curve. You do find that actually, hang on a minute, there was nothing better than saying, yeah, I'm a company director. I am a company director. That's amazing. You know, I've got a company. It might not be in a big office with lots and lots of people, but I have my own company, and that's great. I'm so proud of that, and I know that my family and, you know, Stuart especially is very proud of me for that, and that's just a lovely feeling. So, you know, you've got that sort of self-satisfaction as well of knowing that you've done it. You've come out the other side of setting it up. Now you've just got to run it. So that's the best bit, day to day running of it. But you also get a lot of freedom. So with the misconception of that I don't do anything all day, the freedom that you can run it from anywhere. So with Steel Box Company, I can run it. I've been to France for a week and run it from France. I did things when I was on honeymoon. You don't have to be sitting at home. You can do it from wherever you like. I could sit in a cafe somewhere and do it. It's the consultancy that I have to be here for. But, you know, I choose to do that when I choose to do it. I've got my set hours, that's fine, I'm sticking to it, because I do have this other business that I need to dedicate my time to. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm so proud of myself. And, you know, I just think I'm really, really lucky to be able to do it, and I know that. I said that before, but I am. I'm very lucky. So, I'm just going to put a light on. Ooh. Ooh, that's better. So yeah, I mean, they're the perks. You do get a lot of freedom to do it. It's just so rewarding. I keep saying that. I keep saying it, I know. But it is. So yes, if anyone has got any questions about running a business or starting a business, I am more than happy to help as best I can, if I can remember anything. Or if you just want any tips and tricks, I'll link both of the businesses below if you want to check out what I do in a more succinct fashion. That's another difficult thing to say. Then by all means please go and like them on Facebook and have a look at the website and see if you can spread the word about them. That would be fantastic. So yeah, that's about it really about the businesses. That's what I do day to day. It's eventful, but I love it, so that's good. So next week I think I'm going to talk about the wedding, and I don't know whether to talk about the day itself and the lead up to, or whether to talk about how we saved money and the more practical side of it. So I mean, we did it on a good budget, but I wanted to save money as many places as we could, so I can tell you all about that if you like, or I can just tell you about how the day went and put some pictures in. And then I'm going to talk about the honeymoon as well, both parts of that, because that's more condensed into our what ended up to be a 3-week honeymoon, which I'm not going to complain about. So yeah, so if you've got anything you want to know about the businesses, or if there's anything you want me to talk about next week, just let me know. And if you've got any ideas for future things, or if you want me to do anything in the future, just shout, because I would love some ideas. Alright then, see you next week. Bye!